sunshine and I'll shit on your parade. Don't get me started on doing Michael Caine. My opinion matters, yours will fall in last place. I'm not shutting up and you'll be learning my name. Fifth in the family, but first in my mind. 1 out of 10, but I'm ranking just fine. We've only got now, there's no afterlife. Look, mom and dad, I'm just speaking my mind. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. Everyone's coming on Kyle tonight. Wait, what? No, nobody's coming on Kyle tonight. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. You can't shut this mouth, but you're welcome to try. I only stop talking and drinks while read and cry. I'll never shut up, gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. You can't shut this mouth, but you're welcome to try. I only stop talking and drinks while read and cry. I'll never shut up, gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die.
And we are live. Hello, everybody out there in the YouTube world listening live. Hello to everybody listening in the future on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, wherever. If you're illegally downloading this on Kazaa, let me know that Kazaa's still working. I kind of miss it sometimes. Cool. I miss Kazaa in my life once in a while.
Yeah.
I am Kyle Moucha, your host here for Kyle Moucha Won't Shut Up on Houseboat, brought to you by Moot.tv. Joining me here, as always, is a very special person. His mother loves him. Mm-hmm. It's Mr. Justin Olampeda.
Hey, man.
How you doing today, brother?
I'm good.
It is. We are hitting peak time for fat guy weather. This is the best fat guy
best
weather.
Time, dude.
Perfect fat guy weather.
Oh,
I
like
love it.
Most beautiful day.
I can wear a sweater and not sweat, which usually only happens for like 6 months. My body will acclimate.
Hello, Helen.
And Helen's in the room. What's up, Helen? Number 1 or number 2 fan when she's not slacking, you know? She's got time on her hands. She needs to stop hanging out with her children and start listening to more of our show. No, we love you, Helen. Thank you for joining in. Thank you, everybody, again, that's live in the chat. Zach is going to be with us shortly. So until he is here, I guess I should introduce the guy who's sitting over there. He's sitting in what has been Zach's chair for a while, but he stood down and was like, "This looks comfortable, give me it, motherfucker," and wrestled us to the ground. We are joined by Mr. David Fylstra, old friend, longtime collaborator with us in the way that we have featured your music more than anybody else in the history of Kyle Moucha Won't Shut Up.
Wow.
So thank you so much for being here, man.
Yeah,
it's a pleasure. You're back in town from the Portland area.
Yeah.
And if you've listened to our show since season 1, he is the only one that we've featured in every single season. We featured RAMPRASAD, we featured Folian,
Canadensis,
and then Bible Black Tyrant.
Yeah.
Oh my God! So I was going through it, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's one of his too. I'm gonna put that there. And then I'm looking at the list. I'm like, he's not Baby Sandwiches. Who's Baby Sandwiches? And I'm like, oh, Larry's Baby Sandwiches. Because first season, I'm like, who did we get? Like, Baby Sandwiches could be anybody's band name if I don't remember who's in that band. You know, it could be your band, Justin.
Could be.
Do you like
Is it
eating?
my
Good
band?
band name.
I remember talking about, like, is it sandwiches for babies or is it sandwiches
That's what I was
made of
just
babies?
thinking. It could be either.
It's kind of like the bowling for soup
Is there
conundrum.
an answer?
Yeah, I don't think there is. I think
know.
it's just kind of left up to whatever you want
Helen
to do.
says she stopped in especially to say hello to Dave.
Because Dave
Oh.
is special. That's why we have
Hello,
him here.
Helen.
We don't like to have not special people. See, Justin's mom thinks that he's special, but Richard's mom knows you're special.
Yes.
Aw.
She knows it. Helen's always hanging out with us a lot. You know, she's in the chat. And
That's
I think she
awesome.
likes us
Yeah.
more than Richard does at this point.
I think so.
Yeah, she's got Rickard beat. She definitely has him beat.
That's great.
So, and I was thinking last night, I was watching this video and somebody was talking about what would you do for your last meal if you were on death row.
Right.
Right? And I definitely decided that if I was going to be on death row and I had to have my last meal, I'm going to eat everything that's going to make me shit my pants like the worst
Right.
after I die, so they have to clean it up.
Right.
And I'm going to refuse to shit. I don't care if it's the night before and then in the morning they're killing me.
Right.
I am eating all. It's going to be a terrible morning. It's going to be the worst morning of my life for multiple reasons. But I'm going to eat like peanut butter and ice cream and peanut butter ice cream.
Extra
and
chocolate.
Drink, lots
Chocolate
of chocolate
milk.
milk. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm just
Are you
going to
doing like 10 milk challenges?
Yeah, I'm going to do the whole gallon challenge. I'm going to drink every type of milk. I'm going to just be like, let's get as much in here as I possibly can. And then just when I die, it's going to be terrible for you. I feel bad for the toilet.
Final vengeance.
Yes. Oh, it's like, depending on what I did, it might change what I decided to eat. But I think ice cream and
What
peanut
would be the deciding factor of changing?
I don't know. Like if I like did something really terrible, like I was a mass murderer or something
Right.
along those lines, right?
Right.
Maybe I would decide to pick like a specific brand to eat to ruin the brand I hate. If I'm just like, fuck, I want Olive Garden, and I want it to be known that Olive Garden was my preferred last meal. Yes, I murdered 2,800 people in a random spree in the summer of 2025. Okay, if that happens, now we're going to have to look back at that. And
Well,
be like, Kyle called
they've
it.
heard it here
His
first.
life went down real quick, and then he went on a really large murder spree.
Right.
It's crazy. But yeah, what would you eat, Justin? Would you eat something good for your last meal, even if it wasn't death row? If you're like, this is my last meal, because I think I would do that even if I was in hospice. I'd be like, can I get chocolate, vanilla, swirl, peanut butter?
Well, really,
ice
what I
cream?
would do is I would get my favorite savory dish.
Okay.
And then do that same exact thing. Just gorge on fucking sweets and ice
Yeah.
cream and milk. And
Yeah, like have a nice steak beforehand
yeah.
to maybe
Just
add
have
some
something.
solidity in there. Oh, we got some bouncing action
Bouncing
happening.
now.
Zach is going to be joining us any
Wow.
minute. I heard the sound of the toilet like 10 minutes ago. He must have really had to
He
go.
faked. That was a fake.
It was a fake out. It was a fake out. And I don't appreciate that, Zachary. I don't think that's a nice thing to do. We don't appreciate it. Dave doesn't appreciate it. Helen really doesn't appreciate it, you know? She doesn't.
What about the fans?
She doesn't.
man?
What about the fans? You gotta look out for the fans.
That's
So Zach is, as always, mixing and mastering and finishing up our single for this week. He, we'll go into it later as we always do, but this is another banger. This is another weird, wild one.
Yeah.
And we've
was a
done
lot
a
of fun.
song in Spanish before, but this is our first bilingual song that we've done. So yeah, we did an entire song in Spanish off of our dance album. Every song was based on a TV series that was streaming
Like
on
Netflix
Netflix
show.
or Amazon or something like that. And we found a 22-minute documentary called Lorena, and it's about a girl who lives in a small Mexican town that is one of the best runners in the world and like runs with the bare flip-flops that she like was like raised wearing. And when offered real sneakers, she's like, oh, but the people I beat wear these. Why would I want to wear them?
Yeah,
And
she's
it's
just running in these old
she's
sandals.
badass. She's fucking
Somebody told me about this show.
badass. It
Yeah.
was sweet. It was
It was
sweet.
22 minutes or something so long. Like,
And-
worth the watch.
And we
It's really cool.
wrote a song based on that, and I wrote it all in Spanish and did a pretty good job of pronouncing everything right. And except my roommate's girlfriend, who speaks Spanish, was just like, "What is that one word you're saying?" And it was like, I was saying lujero, and it's supposed to be like lujero or something. And she goes, "Yeah, it just takes all of it out." And I'm like, "All right, so good. I've ruined it by using that word more than any other word in the entire song, and I just kept mispronouncing it." But tonight I helped. I got a helping hand from Google.
So if it's fucked up, blame Google.
I gotta blame Google. There's some names that say as pronounced by, like Consuela and shit like that was one of them. So I think people are like work for Google, and then they tag their name like, oh, I put in this pronunciation. That's me doing that. So we can keep track of it. We'll find out. Or the other option is that there's a lady named Consuela on the other side of Google just auto-translating all of my shit in real time. That would be the worst job ever.
Yeah.
Just some idiot kid's just like, boobies, and you're like, oh, God, really again? Boobies.
You fuck.
It's like an old video of if Google was a person. There's like an old video that's been going around. That's probably why it's in my head. And just like some guy just be like, come on, man. Like, what are you doing to me? Boobs. Oh, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. But then we also, in addition to our song, we have a really awesome featured single that we're going to be getting into. Yeah. It is a band that we found on YouTube through Blank TV, an awesome channel that features a lot of really, really cool independent, unsigned bands, bands on the rise, all different genres. These guys, last week I made a mistake and I said they bring me back to my emo screamo days. I was confusing them with another band I had spoken with. These guys bring me back to old school hardcore.
Right.
Like when I got really into Strung Out, Comeback Kid even. He's got that feel. It is fast, in your face. And it's like 1 minute and 48 seconds long. One of the best types of songs that you can have. And I'll just let you know now, it's called Lemmy Is God. That's the name of the track. Yeah. So they got a good taste in music and movies right there. They got a really good taste overall. So we're going to be getting to that in a second. Now, we usually have a pacing beer that we like to get into drinking. And today, we're drinking some Yingling.
I forgot. I still have these Bush
Golden
lattes.
Pilsners. I have a Bush from last week. A Bush
I was like,
latte
we
still.
already rated this one.
Yeah, we already rated that one. So we got Yingling Golden Pilsner. I've had it on tap before. It's an okay beer. Have you had this before, Dave? The Golden?
No, I haven't.
I think it must have come out in the last couple of years since you've been living.
I could tell you
other side.
Before this, the only Yinglings I've had is the original lager, the Black and Tan.
The Black and Tan? Oh, yeah.
And
There's a bunch of those in my fridge right now.
Chesterfield, yeah.
Yeah, and you were pointing out, you brought some Chetty along.
Yep.
Yeah.
It actually
Someone
says
left this
Chetty now.
in my fridge, yeah, so.
And it used to just be like kind of some people would call it Chetty. But I think enough people in South Philly got a job working for Yingling or something, and they were able to like convince
it's called
them to
Chetty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says Chetty now. But on the other side, it still says Chesterfield.
Yeah. It's it's okay. It's an okay idea. I like Pilsners. I'm a fan of Pilsners. I like more of a crisp Pilsner. This one isn't too much of anything, I don't really think. Is it treating your mouth good, Justin?
It sort of tastes like lemon water to me.
Oh yeah, there's a slight
There's like
acidity that is probably just the hops, but maybe, I don't know. What do we add on this? It says a refreshing and smooth beer, just so you know. It's a refreshing. They got to let you know that it's smooth and refreshing.
It's pretty smooth.
And they got the ABV thrown in there. I think they're hiding the ABV, which probably means it's like the 4.2 like most of the other bullshit.
Yeah, is that the number?
Yeah, it's probably
because they're back to being a craft brewing.
Oh yes, they are a craft brew. Did you hear about that whole thing? No. A few years back, they really wanted to be the #1 craft brewery in the world still. So what they did is they got them to change the definition of what a craft brewery was, a microbrewery, by upping the amount of barrels allowed to be made by a brewery and still be considered micro, from like 500,000 to like 2.5 million. Like it was like a huge increase, just so they can keep oldest brewery and best. I tried to attach that the block there for you, the screen there for you. If that's fucked up, that's on me. It's been a while since Zach's been sitting over here.
I fucked everything up. I'm sorry.
It's all your fault. It is. But now we are finally here. We are finally joined by a man who's going to sit there and fumble with this until he smacks me for attaching in the first place, because he probably didn't really need it. Here he is, Mr. Zachary. It's kind of like a stuttering pop. Stormin, you're a stammering daddy this week. You're a daddy that stammers. You're a stuttering pop. Oh, so Zachary, we are drinking some Yingling Golden Pilsner here. But we've got some other beer that we're going to be drinking. And you also have a little treat that Justin got you on the table.
Yeah, man.
And I gave you a fork. So if you want to dig into that at any point, that's for you.
What?
That's there.
What is it? Is it baby food?
It looks like baby food. It 100% looks like baby food.
Pumpkin butter.
Pumpkin butter,
dude.
We're assuming that it's like apple butter, but with pumpkin.
Apple butter jeans.
probably
Pumpkin
pretty
butter
Apple butter.
spread.
Apple butter is one of the best types of butters
This
you can get.
fucking microphone.
It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. But before that, let's jump into what else are we
well,
drinking?
that's the problem, Kyle.
so you don't have to. Reviewing in the morning from the bathroom. Cheap booze and craft brews. Reviewing in the morning from the bathroom. What are we drinking? What are we drinking? Yeah!
Squirrels are for killing and eating.
I had some
I pinched
squirrel...
the entire
Disagree.
microphone arm together without realizing it because I was trying to not kill the little picture of a squirrel that nobody but Zach can see. It's my favorite thing about the squirrel. It's just it's Zach's little personal friend to look at.
We should just
Do you
keep
know what
adding
this
to it.
squirrel is from?
No.
A box of ammo.
Oh.
It's
Okay.
shotgun shell ammo meant for shooting squirrels.
Oh.
So put a
Okay.
little squirrel in the box so you know what
What
you're
to kill
supposed
with
to
it?
do with it.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that squirrel's got shot by a camera instead of something.
Everything's falling apart. here,
I'm
boys.
really enjoying the struggle over here. I think it makes for good audio as
Yeah.
well. All right, so we are here drinking the Yingling Golden Pilsner. Justin, what would you give this out of 100? The Yingling Golden Pills.
40. 40.
Any strong feelings on this one, Dave?
It's refreshing. It's smooth.
I can read too.
It's not a liar.
It isn't. It is
I
refreshing and
appreciate
smooth.
that.
Yeah.
I had it, like I said, I had it on tap before, and I didn't hate it. It's not offensive in any way.
Is it better on tap?
I think it was. I think like with a nice head on it, because I remember it was actually like Yingling's head doesn't stay for that
Right,
long,
right.
for like the regular lager. But this one had a little bit more of a sustainable head, which was my nickname in high school. Sustainable head. I had a head that needed sustaining. I had a very large head. Still do. I'm gonna say I'm gonna give this a 58. For what it is. It's supposed to be a Pilsner. It's a golden Pilsner. It is light and refreshing. I do get that. But it is not in any way my favorite. I think Miller Lite is almost 10 times as good as this, which would make it a 580 on our scale. So it can't be. But it's at least 1.25 times better than this. Scale of 1 to 100, any ideas?
I think I'd go a little higher than that.
Yeah.
It's not as like light as I prefer from a Pilsner,
Yeah.
but I'd give it maybe like a 65.
65, good number. Zach, what are you thinking on this one?
37.
37 with the honesty.
Yeah.
All right, now the real beers. Let's get into the real beers that we're drinking here.
Yeah.
We have the barrel-aged Innis and Gunn Blood Red Sky.
Oh, Lord.
This is the rum barrel
Yes.
red beer.
I need a palate.
Oh, yeah, you do. It's 6.8% alcohol, so it's not crazy high, but it is
Smell
pretty
that.
damn good. Oh, you're going to get a palate cleanser of... Oh, that just kind of smells like apple butter. It's very, very similar to apple butter, but then it's going to taste like shitty pumpkin. It's going to taste like shit fuck. I don't want that type of cornucopia. That's the next beer we're looking at. All right, so we each have a glass that is for the next beer. I'm going to drink this one right out of the bottle.
But how many beers do we have?
Many.
We have 2.
Well, we have 3 if you include the Pilsner. Our
This is
Pilsner.
really good.
Ooh,
This is
that is
this
wow.
is really good.
Oh, I'm all about
that is not disappointing because we've had the Scotch.
The Scotch one has a bite to it.
It is. I
This
do
is
like
really
that though.
smooth.
Ooh, an
This
aftertaste.
is
Yeah.
delicious.
This is really
Oh,
good.
Helen's saying that we should drink Drank. If we could get a bottle of Drank or a can of Drank, I would drink some Drank.
Drank?
Drank.
Like the original Drank?
Like the
Purple
slow down,
Drank?
yeah,
Fuck yeah,
yeah.
dude.
It'd be great. It'd be great. Do you need a bottle opener or a lighter?
Do they even still make
Here's
that?
a lighter. I don't know if they do. The Richard would probably be the best
I'm gonna
one to
start
know
pouring
about that.
this other one out.
Yeah.
All right, start pouring that one.
God.
This for a rum barrel aged, you do get the taste of the rum. It is in there. We're not pouring this into a glass, so I can't really tell the color. But it is just smooth and rich and full. This is a good eat a steak and drink this
Yeah.
beer. Eat something else that you might like and drink this. This is a good meal beer to me.
Yeah.
It's a good. I like a Bach or something along those lines, like the Troganators and such. If I'm eating, I think that's where
I think this
usually
is supposed to be
go.
a red ale.
It is supposed to be red.
Yeah, it's a red beer.
It's red beer though.
Yeah.
What was
Which
the
I've heard
other
of red
Innis
beer.
and
in other-
Gunn?
There was the Scotch cast,
whiskey.
and they had the
Yeah.
whiskey or the Irish whiskey.
Yeah.
The one that people were freaking out when it first came to the yard.
Oh yeah, we were going crazy for it. We
Yeah,
sold
because
that
they had
shit out so
they
quickly.
had it in kegs.
Yep, and then Innocent Gun pretty much got so popular they couldn't hold up with demand, and I think they just went, yeah, we're not going to sell anything. And I haven't been able to see an innocent gun in stores in a while.
I'm also going to pass these nuts around.
We've got
pass your nuts over.
we've got
Daddy.
some spicy nuts
once,
too.
huh?
What is this?
A lot of
I would
tastings.
suggest not touching your eyes.
Don't touch your eyes after touching these nuts. Don't. I would also suggest not eating them until after you've tasted the beer, because it will definitely thwart your experience. Let's get, while you're passing out your nuts, let's get what we're thinking on the innocent gun. Justin, what are you going to give this guy?
85. It
That
is
is
a
the
really
highest
good beer.
ranking by any individual yet. You last week also gave one of them 85, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to. You know what? I'm gonna be right there with you, but I want to be different, so I'm gonna go 82. I think it's the best beer we've tasted so far this season, by far.
Nice.
No challenge there. This is good. This is
really
and it's
good.
really going down easy. It's gonna be.
Yeah.
This is like a get 5 of them in you, and you're just like, yeah, I don't need a drink for a while now. I'm just drunk, and you can just sustain that for forever. Zach, what are you thinking on this?
Tastes like shitty root beer.
Yeah,
Does it
in a
not?
good way though. In a good
It's
way
like
though.
old, crappy
Sort of.
root beer that you found laying around somewhere.
In a rum barrel, yeah. Is that how you want to find
Yeah.
your root beer? So a 4? Like, what are we going with over here?
Are you rating it as root beer?
It goes down good.
Yeah,
There's just that
I love the aftertaste, and you're now going to
that
say
sticky, sweet sort
it's
of.
syrupy. It's got a little bit of molasses in there. I'm sure. I wouldn't be surprised if there was molasses in here.
I'm giving it a
good.
76.
All right.
76. I think that might be your highest that you've given anything.
I think that's the highest ranked beer at this point.
No, so far, the average is, but unless we get a 4 over here from Dave and bring it all down. What are you thinking on this guy?
I mean, I'm kind of right with you. The aftertaste is. I'm all about it. I do get like a vanilla even.
Yeah. I didn't read
Which
the
I'm
back
reading,
of this
it
over
does
here.
mention of vanilla.
It says Jamaican rum barrels meet Scottish red beer. Notes vanilla, rich fruit, and lively spices. I say it like that because I thought it said living spices at first. And I was
The
like,
beer's alive.
here's a lot. There's a yeast in the beer as well. All right, that is So what do you
Are
think?
we going to 100 here?
Yeah, up to 100.
I don't know. This is really tasty. I'd probably give it like a 79.
79. So this one overall is definitely going to be sitting there right.
I
in
couldn't
the
drink
80s.
more than like 2 of these in one
Yeah,
night,
if you
though.
did 5 of them, you'd be like, I don't need to drink much more ever again.
I agree with you though. This is a good
full,
meal
too.
beer.
Yeah. Yep, I would definitely
Instead
like
of having
this.
wine?
I like a good
Yeah.
German dunkel. This is kind of right along that line for me. All right, now
Dunkel?
the next one that we have
Dunkel
here
do?
is Unicornucopia. It is a white wine barrel-aged Belgian-style ale brewed with Brettanomyces.
Yeah.
There you go.
What is that?
I don't know, but it's from Wiseacre Brewing, bottle conditioned, and it was made in 2020, so we're getting all good information from here.
Who had the idea, like, let's age our beer in, white wine barrels?
It's gonna have hints of Chardonnay.
They're like, yeah? You
little
got a
prickly
fucking shrimp
pear.
cocktail in the way too, bitch?
I wouldn't mind a shrimp cocktail. I don't know why you're
only
insulting
so
shrimp
many
cocktail
ideas.
like that. Now, this is 8.43%.
Jesus, you're gonna be drunk?
8.43%. Well, we're only doing a little taster.
I haven't even been drinking beer much at all
This
lately.
is a thick bitch.
I like the
Look
fact
at
that we got
It
2.
smells-
Oh,
You're
Very
getting me a little drunk
potent.
here.
that
Like
almost smells
a-
like a sour.
It's okay, so it does
Smells
have
like a
some
potion.
sour notes to it, but
Oh,
then
that's
it
the
also
white
has
wine.
a soapiness
Oh.
to it.
That is
But then it gets sour again.
no, that's not a good beer. Just like a regular cornucopia, that tastes like soap. That tastes like beer you had a full beer of something
Oh,
decent,
weird.
Yeah.
and then you fell into the tub while like
supposed to be
3 other
aged?
people were bathing.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
that
in white
sucks.
wine
So
Yeah.
I'm a
This
big
is-
fan of sour beers and wine,
and soap.
and I use soap all the time.
You do.
But,
You gotta keep yourself clean.
yeah.
Not a fan
I don't want to
of
go back to
There's
it.
something
I'm-
going on with all 3 of those things.
Yeah.
They're not mixing well together. Oh no, that looks such a cool. We wish we had that when we were doing. Is this beer as good
Give
as
it
the
another
bottle?
chance.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
I'm gonna go back for number 2.
I'm
I'm probably
going
gonna drink all
to. Do you want to talk about the spicy nuts.
Oh,
Well,
I want
we're going
to
through
let's
that.
rank this first. I'm also
right.
getting like a weird Christmassy minty thing in there hidden. I don't know.
It's like a eucalyptus
oh,
almost.
yeah, no, that is
You know, I don't
that
hate
tastes
it.
medicinal,
Like I'm gonna
and
finish
not in a
this.
good way.
I mean, I'll finish it.
Oh.
I don't think it's that bad.
I don't think I'd buy it again.
I wouldn't buy it again,
Or-
no, but I
yeah.
don't think it's that bad.
I don't like white wine. I
Ugh.
feel like if you loved white wine,
I can
It
definitely
tastes
like
like white wine.
you might
Yeah.
get more into
That
this.
is
Someone just
it's-
poured
Probably.
into maybe a halfway decent sour.
To be
beer.
a total douche about it, I can feel the white wine on the outsides of my tongue. You know, like I can get
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
hint, the tinge there, the fringe, even if you will. The
tinge and the fringe.
tinge and the fringe, man. And I gotta say, unlike the TV show Fringe, this fucking sucks. This is bad. This is the first
All right, so
bad,
what are
bad
you
one that
ranking
we've
this
had in a
beer?
while, besides the Warheads, but we expected that. I'm giving this a 19. I'm giving this it's a 19. I am curious to go back for another one. Like Lewis Black said with candy corn, like an Alzheimer's patient, I will return and then I will drink and go, motherfucker, fuck this, fuck. Oh, so I don't like it. What are you thinking, Justin?
I'm about a 32 on this one.
It's still pretty low. It's still pretty low. Zach, are you cleansing your mouth now with spicy nuts?
I'm gonna give it a 16.
A 16.
Okay.
All right, and the soap lover,
You
the
know-
wine lover,
The more I sip it,
you're liking it?
the more tolerable it is. I
Okay.
would probably still
careful
rank
with
it
those.
down. Like
I'm gonna put one in my mouth.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
just eat
say
one.
46.
All right. Well, now that terrible thing is sitting on my tongue, I'm going to add some heat. We have here
Yes.
Kaizen Snacks, Pocono Peanuts, Ghost, Scorpion, and Carolina Reaper.
Yeah.
My finger's kind of burning, I feel
yeah,
like,
dude.
a little bit, and I really need to itch my nose. So I'm going to do that with this hand, and then hope that,
All right.
just, these are keto friendly. And you get 15 grams of fiber for 6 ounces. I don't know who's eating 6 ounces of these. But, Zach, you've already tasted. Justin, have you gone in for one yet?
Now I'm going now.
All right. If you haven't yet, let's jump in.
It's instant. Bam.
Throw a few in there.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Okay. Oh, no. That's not good. That is... Wow. The wine shit piss soap beer is immediately gone from my mouth.
Yeah.
We should do, when we do our whiskey taste test, we should use these as palate cleansers when we do a whiskey taste test, because that'll really kill.
Oh, man.
I made the mistake of chewing in one
How many
spot.
did you eat? A handful?
I'm eating a few.
Oh, my
damn, yeah.
So I'll tell you. I'll
You
give
like hot? Are
if
you a
you
hot
didn't
fan?
know, yes, I'm a huge
No, I
hot
don't
sauce
know.
fan. I love.
Don't you gotta spill those
I'm a hot pepper
eyes.
fiend. I make my own hot sauces.
Oh.
I do
yeah.
challenges.
Oh.
The
What's
last
highest
interview
Scoville
I
level?
did was like a hot. We did our own hot ones.
Nice.
My friend Ben
Oh,
and I.
sweet.
Fuck yeah.
And 10 different sauces that got hotter and hotter. So
Have you broken
well
1
acclimated.
million Scoville before? Have you done anything that's like legit, like 1 or 1.5? Like, because what
I don't
is-
pay attention to the Scoville. So
No.
I just don't know. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think maybe the hottest thing I've had is like, Da Bomb or like
The Bomb Beyond Insanity is a nasty. It's
Beyond
just not,
Insanity. I've had. Yeah.
It's nasty. That one is
Da Bomb
gross.
sucks. It's no flavor.
It's just to kick you in
See-
the balls. That's all it is for.
I'll
I'm
eat-
almost
I'll
nervous
eat
about
hot
drinking
stuff as long as it
something
has
after
flavor.
this.
So
Yeah, the nut flavor was still there.
The nut
My
flavor.
entire mouth is on fire
Thankfully.
right now.
Yeah, I ate
Oh my
3
God.
of
It's
them. I'm
Instant,
good.
right?
I will
That
say-
was pretty cool.
And it's just the one spot where I chewed it, because I didn't chew it all over my mouth, which I kind of wish I had, so it'd just be like not concentrated. It's just one. It's gonna be the whole episode. I'm glad we did this
I
now.
can keep eating these. These are
You
great.
are
By all
impressing me.
means.
It is disturbing. It is impressive, and I
I'll
like
say
it.
that
And
my
speaking of,
favorite pepper, hot
Yeah.
pepper, I gotta say, is a ghost pepper.
you like you like it. You
I like
enjoy
the
it.
actual flavor of it.
Would you ever eat a whole ghost pepper?
I would.
Really?
Scorpion pepper, which is the next step
Mm-hmm.
up. I also like the flavor. And then the next, Carolina Reaper, I am not about that.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
just all heat, no flavor.
The beer is not
pain.
helping. I'm going to say that right now.
Are you enjoying these?
Oh.
though?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, now what I'm going to do, actually, before I move on, now I'm going to
Have
take
at
the
'em.
shit beer. I'm going
have
to take
more
the
beer
shit
for
beer
it.
and I'm going to taste it now and see if I like it better with the hot sauce. I want to see if soap makes my hot mouth go down.
I think it's gonna end up with
I
hot
finished my
soap.
handful. I took a whole fucking handful.
No, God, that's still real bad. I can taste it over the heat.
Yep.
That's not good. That is disgusting.
It's the worst.
Fuck my mouth. All right, well, at least we're going to get a little break right now, a whole 2-minute break.
Yeah.
We're going to be featuring now a song from one of the most enjoyable bands that I've gotten into recently. They are called Call In Dead. I found them, like we were saying before, through YouTube on Blank TV, and I hit them up, and they were really stoked about getting their music out to new people. And since then, they have been named by Orlando Weekly, where they are from, Orlando, Florida.
Big up to Orlando!
Big up to
Orlando!
Orlando Weekly named them the Reader's Choice Punk Band of Orlando. So big ups to the guys over there at Calling Dead. The song that you're going to be hearing tonight has a great name. As I stated earlier, it is Lemmy Is God. If you like what you hear, at Callin' Dead Official on Facebook and Instagram. You can go to their Bandcamp. It's callindeadfl.bandcamp.com. And all their music that I found is released on Violent Breed Records.
Oh.
So here's a music video for you guys.
Sounds tough.
We will see you in just about 2 minutes to discuss... Actually, Marilyn Manson. We're going to talk about Marilyn Manson. All right, enjoy!
People think for themselves. Don't go for the easy sale. Heartfelt reading. Build my life. High anxiety. Tears it apart. What you see is what you get. Heartfelt reading. Build my life. I can't try harder. My heart won't die. Carve heart. Paper heart. Sword life. Real heart. Carve heart. Paper heart. Sword life. Real heart. What you see tears it apart. What you know tears it apart. This is the memory of the life, spinning, cycling, falling apart. What you know won't be there. Carve hearts, real
Like,
Yeah, he is totally wearing. He wears. I think even in his Facebook profile picture, he wears a mask. The drummer right across there. Okay, yeah, there you go. Once again, that is Callin' Dead. The song is Lemmy Is God. And while we're listening to it, we're like, isn't that like kind of like Motorhead? Oh, it's kind of like Motorhead, right? The song.
go figure.
It's called Lemmy Is God.
Yeah.
That is, again, nice, short, sweet, to the point, fucking in your face. Crank that shit up and then go. They do a really cool Minor Threat cover of the song Minor Threat. Like, they are
Nice.
fucking fun. Thoroughly enjoy these guys. Again, congratulations for being named the Reader's Choice Punk Band by Orlando Weekly. And again, at Call In Dead Official for more information. And you can check them out on
This is-
Bandcamp.
100 out of 100, the best pumpkin butter I've ever had.
You have had other pumpkin butter.
No.
Oh. That makes sense. Well, that
So out of
adds
all
up.
of them.
All that adds up.
Ooh, that's fucking...
My head is
fucking tight
sweating
shit,
under my
dude.
hat right now. I just want everybody
You
to know
want some
that.
pumpkin butter to
Kind of,
calm you
yeah.
down?
I hate pumpkin. Let me see.
It's good.
It's good.
It's so good. I only got one fork, though.
You only got one fork. Here. I got a bottle cap.
That's gross. It's worse.
Probably.
Oh, that kind of cools it a little bit.
That's good.
That tastes like pumpkin. God, what am I doing to myself? We're eating soap, drinking champagne,
So many
soap
flavors.
water. All this stuff's going on. I don't like any of it. It is terrible. All right, so before we get into talking about our Brunch Weekly original single, we did want to talk. Zach asked us to check out this album, and I was actually going to bring up the single last week. We never got around to it. But there is a new Marilyn Manson album dropped on Friday, I believe.
September 11th.
September 11th, it came out, and it is called We Are Chaos, right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
Are Chaos, which is also the title track that I heard last Tuesday, And that track on its own, I was into it. It was like a Marilyn Manson sad love song that had weird lyrics like, what is it, like the garbage, like you'll be in the garbage can, or like
we all end up in a garbage dump, but I'll be the one to hold your hand.
Yeah, it just fucking wonderful, brilliant lyrics.
That song has like
It's getting bleaker and
a
bleaker.
Black Parade.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I
Meets
Ground Control.
David Bowie.
Yeah.
Obviously, David Bowie.
Which is funny because he's taking his
He
influence.
is David Bowie.
He's taking his influence and then taking from bands he influenced now.
Yeah.
If you look at that, like that's
sure.
really fucking awesome
Well,
and a cool way to see somebody
It
25
feels like
years in.
it feels
still
like a
making
new
shit.
Mechanical Animals album.
Yeah. I think the coolest aspect about this is something that Zach pointed out. The co-producer on this album is none other than Shooter Jennings, Waylon Jennings' son.
Right.
And when you listen and you know that,
outlaw country superstar,
and he sneaks it in there. Like there are some like
For
softer,
sure.
more like acoustic
Even
style
in the title
parts.
track, dude.
The title track is
Starts
great.
off with acoustic guitars.
It is so that it is fucking amazing. But I think Paint You With My Love is one of the coolest songs, but also when I read the title, I just went, this is going to be a disgusting song lyrically. Paint you with my love. Some guy just wants to rub cum all over people. And that guy's name is Marilyn James Manson. I don't know what his fake
real
middle
name is Brian Johnson.
Brian Johnson. I was trying to think of his real name and sneak it into his middle name, but it didn't work.
No, his real name is Brian Warner.
Brian Warner. There you go.
That's Steve's dad.
That is Steve's dad. Oh, it is.
It is.
Brian Johnson.
Brian Johnson. We had a
of like
Brian
a
issue last week. This is a new
guy.
trend. I couldn't remember Brian Wilson or Brian Jones from the Beach Boys. I was like, which one is it?
Right.
Brian
Which one's
Wilson Warner.
Yeah, Brian Wilson Jones Warner.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. It's good.
Jonesy.
Yeah,
But no, the
that should
album-
be Steve's next kid's name. We were debating whether Steve should name his kid because his daughter's name is Stevie and his name is Steve, and we were talking about him having
son.
Stephen Warner Jr. Warner is the name that we came up with. Stephen Warner Jr. and then Stephen Jr. Warner Jr. or Junior Stephen Warner. I think those would all be good names for their next child, boy or girl. But back to the album, Zach. What really stood out to you? Is there one track that you are like repeating more, or is it just start to finish the whole album?
Perfume is probably my favorite.
Perfume is
That's
good.
the Get Behind Me Satan thing.
Yeah.
And all those lyrics are just about how it's just a show. Like it's just like the whole Satan thing is just. There's a lot of, if you take the lyrics and put them against what's going on in the world today, that really, like, the opening track is Red, Black, and Blue. And I read that he wrote a lot of these songs before all this happened.
Months and months
But
ago.
when you listen to that song, you can't help but think of the black is the Black Lives Matter movement, the blue is the police, and the red is all the bloodshed in our streets. And like, even if he didn't mean that when he wrote that originally 2 years ago,
it's almost
now when
it's
you hear
life
you're like,
imitating art.
oh
Imitating
man,
life
like
back and
it
forth.
just like the second listen is when I got the lyrics.
Yeah.
The first listen, I was
Did you
just
watch
like,
the video for the single? We Are Chaos? It's wild.
The video
that we had on
Yeah.
before.
good,
Yeah.
I got a lot of like almost like David Lynch's animated stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Like,
Ooh, yeah.
is in that video. Yeah.
Another person that he definitely probably is wonderfully inspired
He's
by
worked
a
with
lot.
him a bunch and like fucking it was a Lost Highway. He's in that movie.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen Lost Highway. So
Great movie.
Fucked up.
that's one I gotta check
It's a great
out.
movie.
So I highly recommend checking it out, whether you are a fan of Marilyn Manson and his past stuff or not. I know a lot of his stuff from you guys playing stuff, me being around other friends and them playing stuff. I'm not a huge Manson head. This is something that I feel like it's turning me on to it in the way that I got into the last Post Malone album and then went, all right, Post Malone's really good. Let me go back now and understand where the fuck he came from. So
Well, if you
for
do
me,
go back,
this is going to be
listen to Mechanical Animals.
I grew
Mechanical
up,
Animals is
I've
the
heard
shit.
of that.
I
I've
grew
listened
up
to
a
that with you.
Manson guy. My dad
Yeah.
fucking loved Manson when I was a kid. So like I was listening, I don't know, 9, 10, like right when that shit was huge.
Yeah.
My dad was fucking
dude.
obsessed with fucking Manson back in the day. So I
had
grew
an
up with
idea
him as like
with Manson.
a mythical figure.
I think we should try maybe one day, we should get Marilyn Manson on our show.
Sure,
and,
come on
he'll
down.
totally do it.
Yeah.
He's cool like that.
Yeah.
And I want to have a rib eating contest with him. I want to have a barbecue rib
Oh
eating
yeah,
contest.
let
with
him know. I'm sure he'll be here.
He'll be 100%.
And we'll watch the Wonder Years.
Say no
And
more.
we'll watch the Wonder Years. 100%. It'll be amazing. He'll love it.
Marilyn
He'll love
Manson
it.
was I know Stephanie, my older sister.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
She listened to Marilyn Manson quite a bit, and she had the tape "It Smells Like Children." So when I was younger, I would always like kind of sneak in her room and listen to her music when she wasn't home, and that was one like that had like "Sweet Dreams" on it, and like
That had Lunchbox on it too,
a
right?
couple covers.
Yeah.
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 No,
that
that
was,
was off of Portrait of American
Portrait.
Family.
Yeah. Right.
Which-
Yeah, Justin
was
pointed
another
out
one of
the
the oldest stuff is-
lunchbox thing, and I was
In
like,
school,
"Oh, that's
yeah.
why kids all had lunchbox."
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
My best friend Shane was obsessed, like seriously obsessed. He
Yeah.
had Japanese only releases of a Marilyn Manson actual lunchbox.
Holy shit.
The metal
sick.
old school lunchbox
I think
with
I've
thermos
seen
and
that.
shit. Yeah, he had that like, and this was like 15 years ago. I remember he's like, yeah, like when eBay first happened, like, yeah, dude, look at all this shit I got from Japan on eBay.
Right.
And it's like the Marilyn Manson lunchbox.
Jesus.
It was pretty dope.
He'd have been the coolest, not cool kid that no one talks.
That is like I loved when I was the
He
coolest
was
not cool
the
kid.
coolest uncool kid.
When
And
you're
the
hanging out
coolest
with your
kid.
not cool friends and you do something and they're for like that day, they're like, "Yeah, you're kind of the king right now," and you're like, "Yeah,"
Except
and then you
Shane
leave your
was the
lunch
king,
table and then you
though.
walk around and
Yeah.
you're just like, "Yep, nope, not at all. Just in this little world, just you
Fucking
5 people."
Grandma had a friend that had yard sales all the time, and she was selling her son's like band tees and shit, and she was selling a Portrait of an American Family T-shirt like that.
Neat.
Cool.
Just a sweet
She
old lady.
bought it for me. Like I was
Aw.
like 7 or something.
That's
maybe
awesome.
6.
Oh, that's
My
awesome.
grandma was fucking. She held it down.
Hell yeah.
She bought me my first like CD with explicit content on it.
Hell yeah.
She just went into the record store with me and she's like, "We want something, a little swear words are okay. He likes
They can
like,
say
heavier
fucking
stuff."
shit. That's okay.
But
Kill,
what would you
kill,
recommend?
kill,
And she
kill.
recommended Rage Against the Machine's Evil Empire.
Hell
hell
yeah.
yeah.
So, and
Fuck
I
yeah.
still have that copy that she
Oh,
bought me
that's
when
awesome.
I was like
That's-
8 or
yeah,
something.
something
yeah,
you'll
dude.
just hold on to for fucking forever.
Yeah.
That's great. That's awesome.
Fuck
well,
yeah.
again, check out the
Shout
new
out to
Manson
Grandma.
album. We do big ups
Fuck
to
yeah,
Grandma.
Big ups.
Big ups to Grandma. We
Grandmas worldwide.
all the grannies everywhere. So this week we
Gilfs,
we
get at
wrote-
'em. That's my new saying.
Gilfs,
Gilfs, get
it.
at 'em.
Gilfs, get at 'em.
It's awful.
But you don't want to fuck them. You just want to
Sick 'em,
friend them.
boys.
Sick
There's
'em.
a pack of wild gilfs. Get on,
You just want to
boys.
befriend them, though, right? It's grandmas I'd like to friend.
Yeah,
You just want to
grandma-
hang out with them in a nice way.
Yes.
Well, unfortunately, both of my grandmothers are
friendly.
dead, so you
So
can't
am I.
befriend them.
Mine too. That's why
Yeah,
I'm looking
they're
for
dead.
other
We're looking
grandmas.
for new grandmas. If you're out there, let us know. We'd love to
Even
adopt
if you're
you.
young,
Yeah, you could be a 32-year-old grandma.
Why not?
We can get weird with it.
can.
It'll be hot. It'll be kinky. It'll be good. All right, so this week we wrote, as I was speaking on earlier, we wrote a bilingual single, and
Single.
it is, again, I believe everything pronounced correctly according to Google Translate, and we'll find out when I play it for my roommate's girlfriend, and she goes, "That's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong," or if any of you know Spanish, sorry. We'll get to the music. I just want to kind of address the story that we are we're covering here. It's a narrative from the perspective of a man who was wasting his life away in a small town in Mexico, Yacaro, and he meets this wonderful woman that changes his life around.
a nice love story.
It's a nice love story, but he knows one day he's going to have to leave, and one day he's going to have to, just up and run because of things in his past. And those things are going to find him. He can't run. What he did,
Right.
there's no way you can run from it for forever. Just like anything in life, you can't run from it for forever. You either keep running and get caught, or you die. And then karma happens. I forget. I don't know science. But so he does get chased. He gets chased out of town. He runs away, and he says that no matter what, she'll always have his heart. and that if he can, he'll make his way back to her.
Right.
And then we won't say the twist at the end, but there are, for the Spanish-speaking listeners, listen more as much as you can through all of it, but the last 30 seconds or so are a nice little twist-a-rooney there for you for that story.
Right.
Now, story out of the way, lyrics out of the way. This was one of my favorite vocals to record. I immediately went, I'm going to go Johnny Cash on this. I'm going to go a little deeper, a little bit more...
and honestly, you know what you came out sounding like?
What?
Marilyn Manson.
It's weird. It's weird because it's just that natural inspiration when you listen to something all weekend.
Yeah.
So that is where I was going and starting with it, the low register, like getting in there and just being as like, not droney, but nice crooner style. As always, none of us have heard this song in its completion. We just finished it. You saw Zach walk on right after he bounced it. If you're in the chat, you saw him say, I'm bouncing it. And so musically, Zach, what were you pulling from on this one? Where did you think this was going to go? Because you forgot we were going to do a Spanish song.
I forgot, and then we sat down, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm ready for Spanish. I was like, oh shit, I forgot.
I've been brushing up. I watched
I forgot that I had said that to you. I was drunk the other day. Let's do another Spanish song.
Yep.
I had an idea for a structure in my head yesterday at work.
Okay.
But I couldn't remember the melody that I had.
Right.
So it changed and it evolved, but it was like a structure of like a old bluesish style where that chorus and that verse are like all one. Then we ended up writing another chorus, but that initial verse turnaround part, what I mean? I had that yesterday.
You were thinking when we started that you pulled up I forget the name of the guy, but El Paso,
Marty Robbins,
and I was thinking of the song she said, Jose, you're in trouble plenty. I don't know, it's some song from the 50s. You don't know that song? Say Jose is on his way. As I ran away, I heard her say, come a little bit closer, you're my kind of man. So big and so strong. Come a and now we're sued.
Oh, yeah.
Because I went too far.
Okay. All right,
So that's what I was thinking of, mixed with the Johnny Cash, like Cocaine Blues. So that's where we went to. Another week of Justin having a lot to do on the percussion.
Yeah.
We had a lot of clapping that we threw in there. They're probably, again, going to sound like MIDI, but that was all belly and
everything
knee and
that
leg
you hear was
slapping.
Was created.
So you were back in the toilet room for some excessive percussion.
Started with acoustic. And
started acoustically in the regular room. Get your brushes going on. Yeah. What were you pulling from this week? I mean, did you lead into the Mexican feel at all in your head,
or I was
were
just
you just
following guitars as much as I could? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's usually the trend because that's what I get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You sit down, for everybody listening, you sit down and there's only a guitar track.
Right.
We don't have an idea for the vocals. We have no bass. We have nothing else. So you generally go in and flesh out within the confines of what we're going to have as the song. You kind of add that level of life to it. And then Zach, when he jumps back in with doing everything else, you did acoustic guitar, you did the bass on this, you did some keyboards that we were hearing some weird shit happening from on that DX7 up there. We again have not listened to this. We didn't start recording until around like 5 o'clock, maybe like
a little bit
5 o'clock or so.
4:30
today.
Today, today. So
week.
This is 100%
like,
every week, every episode. It's within 3 to 6 hours.
Yeah.
Which is why some
we don't
of them
practice anything. We don't write anything.
Total pieces of shit
beforehand.
So this is. Let's just jump right into it. This is a tale or the tale.
A tale.
A tale from Yakura, correct?
Yeah.
Yakura. All right. So here you guys go. It's a little bit over 6 minutes long.
6:32.
There you go. It's just under 7 minutes. Said 6:32 if you round up. All right, guys. Enjoy this Brunch Weekly original single, and when we come back, we'll be chit-chatting with Mr. David Fylstra about his life in music and, the world of today.
Yeah.
Helen Hills. There an angel found me, falling next to broke. With her eyes that smiled, she left me all a joke. Ora, ora, estoy aquí, cuando tengo que irme. Se quedará. If it's to be, I'll get back to ya. Si puedo lo haré. Si tengo suerte, moriré a tu lado. Thought I'd never be found in old Yakota town. Ain't no use hiding when you done what I'd done. Ora, ora, estoy aquí, cuando tengo que irme. Se quedará.
Thank you. There you have it.
Yeah.
The Brunch Weekly original single for season
I'm happy about
5,
that one.
episode 3.
Yeah, me
That
too.
is so fun.
great.
That came out so fun. It's a good story. It's a very precise story. I have a hard time.
Are you gonna tell everybody what the ending is?
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. But I have a hard time with the brevity. You know, I am a long-winded motherfucker. So for me to try to like get a whole story out in basically 6 lines,
Yeah.
and then in another language, but still have the whole idea kind of portrayed there, was a little bit of a challenge. And yeah, the ending, the nice twist at the end when it comes back. Our whole idea is that this story is a guy who's basically sitting in a restaurant or something, and he's telling some younger people this story of this love that he had in his life that he had to run away from, and it's all because of what he's done in his past. And then so when you hear the music and the chorus kind of fade out there, and then the new music start coming in, it's the idea that he's leaving the room that he was telling the story and walking out into the streets of Yokora, which just, you know, has a population of 317 people. It's a very, very, very small town in Sonora.
And they all play in this band.
They all are in this band.
That's amazing.
So the idea is he leaves, he walks out, and after he's told this story of the like his version of the story, the love and everything, and the regret and having to leave because of what he's done in his past, the band in the street is singing El Carnicero de Del Rio, which is the butcher of Del Rio, small town in Texas. And then it says hombre sin corazón, which means the man with no heart or the heartless man. So the chorus in Spanish, or the hook part that is in Spanish, basically says, for now I'm here,
Right.
and I'll be with you, but some point I'm going to have to leave, but my heart will stay with you. So the whole idea is he's the heartless man, his heart belongs to her,
Right.
but he was running away from being, as I was talking about me in 2025, becoming a mass murderer. So it's this love story that this guy's telling, but the thing he has to run from is he killed a shitload of people to the point where he is known as the Butcher of Del Rio.
Yeah.
So I hope everybody enjoyed that. We'll be getting this single posted as its own individual video up in some point this week, by the weekend.
Yep.
So you can listen to that all you'd like, or obviously this video will be up after we are done with our live broadcast, and you can just jump right back to about, like minute, like, I don't know, -5, that'd be 57. So like right around like minute 50, you can go check that out.
Yeah.
Now, if you're listening to this now, you just heard that. So me telling you minute 50 is completely useless. 100% useless.
I can go back.
But it's not completely useless. Our guest, we have a wonderful guest.
man.
He's been here. He's been hanging out, and again, he is the musician that, besides the 3 of us in this room, has contributed the most to this show.
Right.
Again, he's been in, or he's a part of such acts as Folian. That's pretty much you, right?
That's
Folian
just
is
me.
you.
To this point, yeah.
RAMPRASAD. Black Bible Tyrant, right?
Bible Black.
Bible Black. I'm never going to get that right. Before I was saying Bible Black Tirade or Lunatic or something else like that. And Canadensis, which
Big ups to Canadensis!
Big up to Canadensis. Oh my God, that's probably one of my favorite names of a band. And I'm curious if anybody out there goes, "What's that name?" I'm in Portland, like, "Why are you called that?" And you're just like, "Dude,
The funniest thing is,
don't tell you."
now, this is a connection you don't know about. Eric came up to me, he's like, "Oh yeah, the girl that cleans Reinhardt's house? Yeah, her brother has a band called Canadensis."
Eric,
I was
Four
like,
Seasons. Eric?
Yeah, he works.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's-
really? That's
yeah.
so funny. My
He works
sister was just
alongside,
telling me
yeah.
about him today.
Yeah, and then I was
Remember
like,
him?
"Oh, well, that's Dan." I was like, "Oh, that must be his sister."
Hell yeah.
So yeah,
Hell
I've
yeah.
met your sister.
Yep.
That's
One
awesome.
of 2 sisters.
You've been in bands in this area. You now make music out in Portland. I've known you. Is another one of those, I don't know when I met you, like sometime
Yeah.
15 years ago or
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
I
within
met
the
you.
mix, probably at Rich's for me.
Yeah.
What was it, Burden, right? Burden Call Tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
That's probably the first experience I had of you in a band.
Oh, I remember that
Burden
band, but
called-
that was before I knew any of you.
But Burden Call Tomorrow back in the day, in our scene at least, it was just kind of like, oh, Burden's playing? Like, this is just going to be fucking legit. And it was just a grouping of it was you and Dave.
Yep.
And who else was in that group?
Skeletor.
Our friend Eric, who lived in Bethlehem, and Zach, who lived in Philly. And, yeah.
It was one of those, like, oh, they're playing, you gotta be there. Like, it's not an every weekend. It's not like back in the Toast days where it's just, like, slightly askew, or only on Tuesdays, just to keep referencing Sean from last week, are playing, every single show that you can see him all the time. You guys were like
we released very, very little music and played very many shows.
But it was intense, and for the age range, I mean, what were you, fucking 14 in that band?
I was 15 when I joined that band.
I was so confused at how old you were for so long, so I'm like, there's no way, like, he's that good and he's only like 12 or whatever, right?
Ago, yeah,
it's fucking nuts.
That
makes sense.
In August.
So I met you around that time.
Happy birthday, man.
Happy belated. So Dave, tell us about like your personal history in first as a fan of music. What did you first start getting into as a child? What was your parents' influence on you? And then when did you kind of find your own shit and transition? You already talked to us about the Rage Against the Machine CD, which is a great story. But what were you listening to early in life, and where did it lead you?
My dad always listened to, cooler stuff. I mean, he's a big Pink Floyd fan, and lots of Sabbath, lots of Led Zeppelin.
Right.
He actually turned me on to Hawkwind.
Oh Hawkwind is sick, dude.
I do not know them.
That's the band Lemmy
played
the
bass
player.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's all coming together on this episode.
Yeah. And they're
doesn't sound
there.
like Motorhead at all.
No.
They're like a psychedelic. Really cool stuff.
Charlie says, "Wait, there's meth on Venus."
Oh yeah. There's meth on Venus. Don't worry about that.
There's meth in my pocket, Charlie. Why don't you come over and smoke it with me?
There's meth near his penis.
It's not true. There's no meth in this
house. There's meth near his penis, but his penis is on
There
Venus.
is no meth in this house.
Don't find it. You won't.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Continue.
Apologies.
Oh no, I don't know. Things that my sisters got me into, like Manson and 9 Inch Nails and Nirvana.
Now, how much older than you is your sister?
Stephanie is about, I want to say 9 years.
So you have a huge advantage with music then. As we were talking with Sean last week, he has a brother that's 4 years older. So he got him into he was in high school, and then his brother had just graduated, so he had a little advantage there. You have 9. I have a sibling that's 10 years older than me, but he listened to I basically got the Black Album, the Blue Album, and Nirvana out of him, and that was I could have done that on my own.
Yeah.
He did give me the Cure and Clapton. He got me into that.
That's funny though when you say the Black Album and the Blue Album.
Yeah.
Because there's a bunch of different.
There are, but you know or you don't. I actually meant the Black and Blue album by Backstreet Boys. So.
Did you mean Metallica and Weezer?
Yeah, that's what I was
thinking. That's what I assumed.
Yeah, that's what...
That's
if
funny.
you know me, that's probably where we were
Those
going.
are the Black and
the
Blue
Blue,
albums,
yeah. It's like if you say the White Album, you don't think the Weezer White Album, right? You think...
We need to have a
Beatles,
serious discussion.
Yeah.
What's better, Metallica's Black Album or Jay-Z's Black Album?
Or Weezer's Black Album. Because they have all
The answer
the colors
is
now.
Do they now?
Jay-Z's Black Album.
probably
It's the
should.
best,
Kept up
the
with
Black
Weezer,
Album.
really.
Yeah. Oh, they've got in their first 15 years of existing, Weezer had 4 or 5 albums. In their last 15 years, they put out maybe 10 albums.
Yeah, there's
they just pop it out now.
38 different
They had a
albums
cover
now.
album that was the
Heavy.
Teal album, which is why they covered Africa, and that went everywhere last
They
year.
had an album called The Dude from
Oh yeah, Hurley. Yeah,
Hurley.
and it was a picture of Hurley from Lost.
Lost.
Oh yeah, I
and then they
remember
had
that
an album called
cover.
Death to False Metal. They've had a bunch of weird fucking albums, but none of them are as good as Blue and Pinkerton, Green and Maladroit. That's kind of Red Album's pretty good. Okay, I'm a Weezer fan. I'm a Weezer apologist, so I'll just keep apologizing them for forever. Beverly Hills. That's
no
where
more
we want to be.
Backstreet Boys.
I remember
They
the
must-
Buddy Holly
Zach
video.
wants you to discuss Backstreet
Oh,
Boys.
dude, yeah, that is a great. I think that's Spike Jones. Spike Jones directed that.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
You like Backstreet Boys, Zach?
But I like NSYNC better.
NSYNC is definitely better, in my opinion, 100%.
Dude, Millennium. Oh man,
Or
it's
is, what's
so
the
fucking
Super
good.
M?
Super M, the new.
Or is Super M better?
Super M might be better. That is fucking. That is. They're standing on the shoulders of giants.
What's
Super
Super
M.
M?
That is the all Korean super group pop band that we listened to 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, they are fucking intense. But they're like every boy band combined. It's like 12 or 7 members or whatever. Everyone's the cute one and the bad boy at the same time. It's really weird.
Yeah.
But they're fucking
You know,
fun.
They look
I
like
could
Final
never be
Fantasy
in,
characters.
a boy band because they had the cute one, the bad one.
They didn't have the fat shit one. Yeah, that was cute. Not QT. That was the kids' name. Together, the fake band made by MTV had Chris Farley's brother in it.
That's true.
They did that, and they had a kid named QT, and he died like of a drug overdose or medical something. I don't know. He died, and he was only like 17. And the fake band broke up for real. So you grew up. Your sister was a huge influence. You told us about how your first CD that you got like with your grandmother was Rage. When did you start playing music? And what was your first instrument you got?
Drums was the first. And ever since being real young, I would just I don't know. My parents like bought me I would always like bang on the couches with like paper towel roll sticks and shit, and like
fuck yeah.
And I guess like they got the idea that maybe we should get him a drum set.
Yeah,
so they did one day
save us
for
these
Christmas.
paper towel rolls. He's just unraveling all the paper towels over here and hitting all the cushions. At least the cushions are fluffed. That's good.
Yeah, but
fluffing cushions.
So you got into drumming first.
Yeah.
And what age were you when you first got a drum kit?
I don't know. I had to be young. Like I had to be like 9, maybe even younger. Like when I got my first shitty like toy drum kit, but it was something to bang on. And then I was like, I guess like maybe my parents got the idea. Do you want to do drum lessons? Like, do you actually want to learn drums? And I was like, yeah, sure. And they bought me like a real drum kit. Like I think Cadence was the brand, and I don't even know if that's a thing anymore, or if anyone even knows who they are, but and then I had all these like fake bands with friends like in elementary school growing up. Like we just had all these ideas but never actually came to fruition, and until like JTL, where we started like
it looks like there's still a company
learning like learning songs. I think like the first songs I ever played live was at a JTL like
Battle of the Bands
middle school like talent show.
Yeah.
We played Green Day's Brain Stew and Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Hell yeah. That's you saying in junior high JTL, for those that don't know, Jonathan Taylor Thomas Lambert intermediate school.
Was that what it is, really?
And it's John T. Lambert, but I just always called it Jonathan Taylor Thomas because it was 97. And that's all we need to know. I was reading
Tiger Beat. And you were getting your first boner watching Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
I was watching a lot of I'll Be Home for Christmas, and I was listening to his voice all the time in Lion King.
I'll make you come
it was really,
for Christmas. Come home, I'll make you come home
for Christmas. I'll be come for you, baby. And then I'll paint you with my love. So you start doing that. What is the first? What would you say is the first band?
Things didn't really get interesting until I met like Richard, and we just started jamming together and making. I don't even know what came first, but I'm pretty sure we had a band. With like Casey and Mike Kesselring.
Oh shit!
It was called Streetlights and Night Fights.
I remember that.
And it was just like kind of beat down shit.
I remember that name. Mikey
they introduced me to like hardcore really.
Yeah.
And
shovel face New York hardcore.
Yeah,
shit, for sure.
It kind of became that for a moment, and then Richard introduced me to Dave because Lost to Reason was a band that was happening, and they needed a new drummer because Jason wasn't drumming for them anymore, and so Richard turned me, basically like led me to them, or put in the word for me or something, and I went and tried out, and then it worked out. We became a Bird and Call Mara, and then that was like my first real band, like
hell yeah,
at like 15, and that lasted for a few years.
Yeah,
and then but the three of us, Dave and Rich and I, like continued making music for years to come, and there was Kawato, and then that became Frisian.
That Frisian album was so good.
Oh yeah,
it was so
Frisian.
good.
It
is so good.
It's a lot of fun to watch you drum, man.
Revisit it, like
it is.
Yeah, I feel really good about that one, and it was a fun band. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then you, in addition to being a musician, and just you're not just a pretty face and a good drummer, you got into recording yourself, and you had a nice studio before you moved out to Portland. Candlewolf, right?
Yeah,
Candlewolf. That's what it was called. One of the best Halloween parties ever was thrown at Candlewolf.
Oh, yeah.
That is where I showed up as John Wayne Gacy. And there's a picture
I would
of me.
do one every year, yeah.
There's a picture of me blindfolded, getting ready to hit a pinata as John Wayne Gacy in what looks like a fucking cell uniform, just all gray.
I have that photo somewhere.
I was
there's a lot of heads
sucking.
in
There were
that
lollipops there, and I would stand in a corner because I get really into character in Halloween, so I'd just be sucking on a lollipop with the full face makeup, just staring at it, and nobody wanted to talk to me.
Yeah.
I was being really creepy and weird. But yeah, you had that studio. You recorded
It was a cool spot.
a lot of your friends, a lot of your own stuff there, obviously.
Yeah, the Vina brothers and I started making music.
Yeah. What is the best thing that you think ever came out of, if you can pick one, out of Candlewolf? What was your pride and joy out of that studio?
It's probably Frisian. We mostly practiced there for our entirety, and it we recorded all the drums and there, and that was a special time.
Fuck yeah.
So that band really, like, I would take that with me, like, pretty much
for forever.
Anywhere now, yeah.
Hell yeah. And then you made, how long ago was it that you moved? It was like 6-7 years ago at this point?
At this point, about 5.5 years.
5.5 years ago?
So
you moved out to Portland. Was the intent to go out to Portland and to pursue music there, better scene? And why did you choose Portland over Brooklyn?
So there was actually, like, Richard and I and Uriah formed a band that I don't know if you know Drew Clegg.
Nursery Crimes, right?
Yeah,
Nursery Crimes.
So that was his, like, solo project for a minute, and, like, I had planned to, like, record one of his other bands, Mimu, at the time, and then, like, at the last minute, like, they weren't able to come through, but I was like, well, you got something you want to record? He's like, I got this, like, solo project. I'm like demoing things out in my head, like, I could come lay out all these songs I haven't recorded. So he did, and just, he played, like, everything, and I fucking really dug it, and it's just really dirty fucking sloppy punk shit.
Fuck yeah.
And
really cool.
I was just like, this would be so fun as, like, a band, like, and we talked about it for a while, got Richard in on it, got Uriah in on it, and that became a band too. So I would say Nursery Crimes was a big part of, like, the Candlewolf era too.
Yeah.
And so Drew eventually moved out to Portland about a year before I did. So I went just out to visit for a week. And
then you went to Powell Books, and you were just like, I don't want to leave here.
Powell Books is pretty tight. Yeah.
I do enjoy that place. They got some good thrift stores, some decent bars, a lot of people that looked at me.
I've never been. I hear it's fun.
I will say that Portland.
Many things.
We were going to Voodoo Donuts, right? Voodoo Donuts, and Keith, my brother, and I were up there visiting our buddies. One of the Krinskys, and Kyle Goebel, and those
Jordan
guys.
lives there.
Jordan Krinsky. Yeah. And we were visiting them. We went to go over to Voodoo Donuts, and we parked somewhere, and we're walking by a gas station, and some dude jumps out of a bush, homeless, methed out of his mind, and he's just like, I'll suck your dick for $20. And I was like, that's good to know. And we went, the line for Voodoo was way too long. So then we left, and then when we came back, the guy was like, I'll suck your dick for $25. And we're like, why did it go up? Like,
maybe
is this
you suck your dick?
for $25?
Why didn't you should have done it?
Maybe every time he sucks
It
a dick,
goes
it
up.
goes up $5. So he got his friend.
So he started for free, and I had the opportunity of being number 4, but I then would have been number 5. But he didn't say, I'll suck your dick.
Tomorrow. He didn't say, I'll suck your dick for $2,700. Like, all right.
He didn't say, I'll suck your dick for $20 and your dick for $25, though. He just was a blanket statement, I'll suck your dick. I don't know if he thought Keith and I had a collective penis or what it was. But yeah, I was only there for a couple of days. but I really enjoyed it. I had some really good food. We went to the Kennedy School, which is one of the weirdest, coolest. It's an old school that is broken. The teacher's lounge is a cigar bar. The boiler room is a little beer garden or whatever. They have room for like a full show to go on in there, or a big event like a wedding
pool outside and like the court that you can take drinks out to.
It is
chill in
fucking
a hot like Epsom salt
It is
pool.
sweet. So when you got out to Portland, what was the first project you started working on?
So I mean, really, I'd been working on my solo stuff all along since I moved out there, and at the time it was Wasting Seasons.
Yes.
But I you know, Drew and I were trying to get Nursery Crimes back up and going, and you know, just the two of us. But he was also playing another band called Squalor out there that I ended up joining on second guitar, and we got to play and tour a little bit, and you know, that was another, like, you know, kind of dirty fast punk stuff.
Hell yeah.
So I did that for about a year, and then I wanted to focus on some more other things. We did Nursery Crimes when Uriah eventually moved out there.
Okay. He did, and then he started doing the tattoo game. Yeah.
Well,
Real quick,
Angeli left.
just interrupt. We do have people confused as to who is sitting in the chair.
Oh, this is Dave Fylstra.
Dave Fylstra.
A friend, a musician, and a longtime contributor.
Yes.
Go back to the beginning of the episode, jerk.
As you were saying,
Just kidding, Zach. Not kidding.
Uriah eventually made it out there, and then we found a drummer, and we did that for a little while. We didn't play any shows, and then other projects just kept coming up. I got kind of carried away with the solo thing and started doing more of that. I met my friend Aaron, and we eventually started a band just based off a recording session that my friend Dylan tipped me off on.
And is that what became RAMPRASAD?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was just the two of us for probably like 2 years. Just writing and recording all these songs. Uriah joined, played bass, and then decided to move out to New Haven, which is where he started tattooing.
Oh, he started tattooing out there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
New Haven,
Okay.
Connecticut?
Connecticut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What a far
Very
move.
cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he
was
was
kind of hopping around for a bit.
Well, he went up to Buffalo as well, right?
He was in Buffalo before he came out to Portland.
Okay,
so I'm pretty sure
okay.
he went from Buffalo
to Portland,
yeah.
to Connecticut.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
yeah, it's cool to see him doing his tattooing, man.
yeah,
I'm glad that he's found something that makes him happy.
Finally tattooed me the past couple weeks.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude!
For the first time, it's like something I've been waiting for. I'm so stoked that he's like doing it and killing
Hell
it.
yeah.
You
No,
know,
it's
really,
one of the best things about, I think, getting older is finding, like, and what I love about doing the show is being getting free tattoos. But doing the show and being able to reach out to people that are our friends and people that we've known for a really long time that have gotten into
Any form of art.
and just seeing where they are in life, because I mean, I'm sure most of us at a certain point, you had an image of what your life is going to be. You don't know where it's going to go. You don't know where you're going to move, where things are going to turn. You don't know if at 30, all of a sudden your life just goes, hey, man, like, I don't want to do this anymore. And you just go, okay, I need to follow what I really want.
Sure.
So seeing, especially like a lot of the people that moved out to Portland, the people that moved to Philly, like people that moved to bigger cities to kind of like explore those scenes. It's really
also to
fun.
find more people that are dedicated to do what they want to do.
And then
Around here it would be
everybody that's
awesome, but people,
connected.
it's so hard to get people on a steady basis.
And it helps everybody that's connected
find
through
people
knowing
live
each other to then find new music. Like the amount of music that I heard in just 2 days of being out in Portland. We went to, I think, 2 house shows and saw like 6-7 different bands. And it was just an amazing fucking time. When you got there, what is like the overall scene like in Portland? Is it from my experience, it was a very eclectic. Like we had like what I would call like a Ben Queller style, like singer songwriter, kind of in the more the alternative vein. Played some like weird, like quirky stuff, and then you just had a band that was just straight drone music going, and it was just loud and heavy, and that was like just everybody in the room just slowly doing this for 4 hours, it felt like. And then a punk band played, and I'm just like, I love this is great.
The thing about a city like that is like, and I could probably apply it to any city in the Pacific Northwest, Seattle included.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different things happening. There's definitely a big like heavy music presence. Portland's known for like a lot of doom and sludge.
Yeah.
And but there's also a really good underground like electronic scene there. There's definitely a really good like experimental, drone.
Do people have issues with stuff that came out in the 90s from Seattle? Or do they
do they cling to it still, or are they pushing? Do they push away from grunge, or are they coming back full circle?
I think it's
on
embedded.
It? Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of hard. It's like going to
Nashville
and not liking country would be kind of like, why are you here?
I feel like it was embedded in a lot of the music I came to like.
Sure.
After really finding a lot of the major bands that I gravitated towards, and especially like after smoking weed and stuff like.
Sure.
Nice and legal out there.
Yeah.
Jesus, I remember. Okay, we were out there and we found this weird little shady place next to. I don't know. It was like in there was just factories everywhere. We were driving through like all these fucking like silos and shit. And we're just like, what are we? Where are we? And then we wind up at this tiny little place that had $5 pre-rolled joints, and that's the only reason we went there because we found it on Leafly or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. And we went in and bought like 10 of them because we drove all this way. We thought it was like somewhere in Portland. Funny thing that I noticed in Portland when I was there, looking at the map, seeing where we are, Portland itself is a city that is named for another city. It's named for Portland, Maine.
Yeah.
In Portland, there is a Brooklyn, Portland. There's like 5 other city names within all these neighborhoods, and I was like, Brooklyn, Portland is the most hipster place in the world.
That's a great band name.
I lived there. Yeah.
It is. Oh, is it the most hipster place? Do people cling to being Brooklyn, Portland, or
that
is it
neighborhood
just like,
is? There's not too much going on in that that immediate neighborhood, but. You don't like there kind of is. Yeah, you don't have to go far. Like I don't know if you consider like Division.
Has anybody done a No Sleep Till Brooklyn Portland song?
No.
That'd be good.
It should be a thing.
No Sleep Till Brooklyn, Oregon.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would definitely say like going back to one of the other things that I really took from Candlewolf is probably Canadensis, the project itself too. Because my friend Tom practically grew up in Canadensis and lived at that apartment complex that the studio was a part of.
Oh shit!
For years, and we met through Facebook, through a random, him seeing a photo.
You slid into his DMs and you're like, "Yo, baby, let's go make some music."
It turns out he used to rent that studio before I came in and did any work on it, and then I invited him over. To check it out, and he brought his stuff, and we set up to record, and we jammed, and we recorded what ended up being a lot of the first Canadensis album.
Fuck yeah,
that's sweet.
The day we met.
Hell yeah.
And then shortly after I moved out there, he moved to Eugene, Oregon.
Nice.
So we were able to continue to work on stuff throughout the years, and we still are. We're working on new music and a couple other cool projects right now.
Hell yeah. Well, it would be a missed opportunity to be a downer in the year 2020, but to talk. Portland has been in the news a lot lately. Mm-hmm. You're living in the thick of it. People are getting abducted by unmarked police cars, agents, federal agent cars. Yeah. There are the protests, the Black Lives Matter. There was an entire neighborhood that was taken over, and there's a lot of like people like feeling certain ways about the mayor and stuff.
It's really like downtown. Like there's the Justice Center, the courthouse. Yeah. Where a lot of that energy was focused on. Yeah. Because
anything on your street you live on, like have you like opened the door any day and been like, uh-oh?
Yeah. Well, actually, just a few weeks ago, a march came down the street. We didn't know that they were organizing at the park, like just around the corner from my house, and it came down the street, and we just all stepped outside, and I'm like, all right, I'm going, and we go just down the street, like to an overpass that goes over 84, which runs through Portland, right. The cops are already there, like just lined up, like full riot gear, ready to go, saying it's an unlawful assembly, claiming people are throwing objects and water bottles and stuff at them, which at that point, like, I marched with them like we had just gotten there. That none of that was happening.
None of that was happening.
So they were just looking for confrontation, and that's really a lot of the issue. Is like they like to just use any little excuse to use all this fancy stuff they spend a lot of money on, and
yeah.
Now and the mayor doesn't do anything about it. So.
Yeah. Now with aside from all of the things happening in that way, and like the actual like the culture, and all of the uprising.
Not a replay.
There
Charlie.
are not a replay, Charlie. He's making fun of us for being very up to date with our references to current events. To be up to date. How are the fires handling out there? Are you guys? How close are the actual fires to Portland?
Really close.
And the sky, what's it like?
It's really bad. Clackamas County, which is where fires are currently burning and approaching the areas that they're trying to contain, is just the county over from Multnomah County, which is where Portland is and where I live. So it's insanely close. And the smoke there is just unbelievable. I came out here at the very tail end of August, so that was way before this really got dangerous.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that, fires were really, like, it was before the fires there really started, and so it's just wild timing. But we're at like an air quality index that is like off the charts right now. Like
Dallas in the 90s.
We don't know how bad. Like, it hasn't been calculated how much.
So even if you weren't required to wear a mask for COVID reasons, you would be needing to wear a respirator.
Straight up respirators.
Like straight up like
masks,
the fucking ones that look like you can store oats on the side and shit like that.
Stay inside, seal your windows, seal your fucking
units. Don't have a nice open window to enjoy the fall.
Is it the apocalypse?
Do you think this is the apocalypse as just a normal human?
And more importantly, is Key right and Donald Trump was sent here by Jesus Christ himself to save us? Dude, my dad said to me the other day.
That's totally true.
My fucking dad said to me the other day, he's like, you ever hear of this, what's it called?
QAnon
shit? I was like, don't do it, dude. Don't.
I
was like, it's not right.
Exit now.
He's like, yo, I never heard of it. I just heard about it. I was like, don't do it, man. It's not worth it.
Same as
don't
Trump.
Go down
He has
the
never really, you don't know too much about it, but apparently, they're big fans of me.
Yeah.
And they love our country very much.
Yeah, no, do you think this is the end of the world? I think this is a good solid way to wrap up this interview. Do you think 2020, are we nearing...
I don't think we're necessarily nearing the end of the world. I think that, like, this is going to continue for a long time.
Yeah.
Politically, we're basically living in modern fascist state.
Yeah.
Especially in the cities,
Well, even just the control the government's taking over with businesses. I mean, we spoke about it last week with the restaurants and the bars in Pennsylvania. It just keeps getting more and more limited. The frogs are gay. Oh, God. Hey, that was proven. That was something he was randomly right on. That is broken clock right twice a day situation there for Mr. A. Jones. But yeah, no, that there's so much crazy weird shit going on in the world.
We're going to see a shift in society.
I think things need to change drastically.
Oh, big time.
Big time. And people need to, the people in power are the ones making the terrible decisions to not act on anything.
I think we're gearing towards an uprising.
I think that's
probably
the general feeling, and there's also like a major thing in the air, and the zeitgeist, if you will.
Yeah.
That, people are starting to really realize that they don't give a fuck about you. Like, capitalism is destroying the planet and literally killing us, and we need to start coming together to fucking find a solution, and we need to have each other's backs.
Yeah, well, I'm
At the end
gonna
of the
real
day.
quick just to jump into
Sorry, I'm not laughing at anything.
jump in the chat. We are not laughing at you. And this is a quote. And I'll say this is another one that Alex Jones has been proven correct on. The quote is, "I'm kind of retarded, Alex Jones." If he said that, for
I don't
sure,
doubt that.
he is 100%. Use the right terminology, bro. B, yeah, no, you are R-worded. You are R-worded like crazy. Holy shit. But randomly, you're right about certain things, like a bunch of people getting together in the woods and, you know, having weird seances and rich cult meetings.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
He was right about that too,
Do
unfortunately.
you think it's a cabin in the woods theory?
Yeah, there's just somebody in control in a control room watching all this shit go down.
And they have to. They have every so often. They
Yeah.
have to.
I think on a long enough timeline, Alex
He said
Jones
it.
has been right about everything he's ever said. But at the time, it seems like the wrong thing to do. And
Yeah.
30 years from now, we're going to be like,
It's one of those,
yeah.
not what
Remember?
you say, how you
Yeah,
say
oh, yeah. Alex said that, but we all thought he was crazy.
it. But now all these frogs are just fucking dudes. Oh
I
no.
got molested by a gay frog.
Oh, we just call them frogs now,
human
bro.
beings.
We just call them
Zach
frogs.
said that's just called camping, by the way.
That's just called camping.
On the subject of frogs, I saw a meme the other day that I got a chuckle out of. It was just like the screen cap of like a tweet or something. It was like, whoever decided to name frogs got it 100% correct. Those things are frogs.
Those things are frogs. So with everything that's going on in the world, have you or many people that you know out in Portland, a lot of people are leaving cities. What is the climate like there? Is there a mass exodus? Are
There
they
is,
leaving the
like-
state? Are they going other places? What have you heard?
I heard that in mass numbers, yeah, people are evacuating just to seek cleaner air, and I know personally people who are doing that, and you know, not getting too far away from Portland, but still, it's a little better where they're going in
Yeah.
places like Washington, and but there's, I don't know, a week ago or something, there was something like 36 different major wildfires burning on the West Coast.
Jesus
Entirely.
Christ, yeah.
California has experienced like
I think like
The
it's
greatest-
got to be almost like 30%
crazy.
of California is on fire at this point. Like it's
Yeah.
got to be that astronomically
Yeah.
high of a number.
it is. And
It's so
kinda-
ridiculous.
What a dump California.
Well, I have a
these
theory that it's
days.
just Mother Earth trying to reclaim the desert. All of us assholes went and put
Yeah.
palm trees everywhere and put all these.
Oh, you
businesses,
wanna
these
live
buildings,
here?
And Mother
I
Earth
don't
is
think
just like,
so.
not in my house situation.
Yeah, well, we've all got friends that live in
Yeah,
California.
yeah, California, LA,
And every time
Southern,
you talk to
Northern.
them, you're
yeah.
like, "Why are you still living like?"
Yeah.
And me and you
brutal.
have both lived in California,
Yep.
and it's like,
Up and down.
I don't want to live there anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
I
you just
it's
told
so
Jerry.
wild, right?
I
It shit
enjoyed-
doesn't happen here.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Northern
A lot of
California,
shit doesn't
but they're
happen
getting it
here.
there.
It's really
just
not
as
that bad
now.
here.
Yeah.
Like, you get some snow, maybe a fucking tornado,
Yeah, it's
maybe a
humid.
hurricane.
It's
Come to
humid.
Pennsylvania
Radius.
where shit
Yeah.
don't happen.
Pennsylvania, shit doesn't happen
come
here.
don't come to Canada.
Don't come,
leave it for us.
Come to Canada. Wait,
sports
never mind.
come to Canadensis is
Never
next
mind, we don't
show.
want you
That's
here.
about it. Yeah, we don't want you here. So what is down the pipeline for you as far as the musical endeavors? We haven't really talked about. You do have a record label.
yeah.
Anima,
ANIMA
correct?
Recordings.
And you've been doing that for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
And what's down the line for you? What are you looking to get into, and how is COVID making you adapt?
It's kind of fucking things up. I managed to get one new release. My friend Pierre's album, his project Huracan, put out his new album on tape and CD.
Hell yeah.
And it's awesome. Really, really great stuff. Working with a friend, Elliot, for their project called A Stick and a Stone, and we were also working with another label in Europe. It was a collaborative effort, but since vinyl is not a possibility where they're at right now, it's kind of
Okay.
been halted, so we're still in like the planning stages of
Hell yeah.
trying to get that out.
Yeah.
Another band I play drums in called Flood Peak has an EP that's going to come out before the end of this year.
That's cool.
What's the genre there that you guys are going in?
That's a bit more, I guess, to generalize it, like heavier post-metal, post-rock, sludge kind of stuff.
Well, it's not
Isn't it
something
fun when
along
you
the
need like
lines of
12 words to
Mexican
describe
polka,
it?
so,
It's not Mexican polka.
it's not
though.
impeding
Yeah,
in
it's
on
not
our new
Mexican
territory.
polka. We're the first there. We're the first
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
For people that are looking to get into stuff on your label, what do you describe most bands on your label as? Because it's not the ordinary band that you're gonna find.
I don't. There's not really. I don't do that stuff by genre. Like
Okay,
you
you just find the
describe them
band.
as
There
people
is-
you like.
there is some
their
guidelines.
music.
Not even necessarily. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It has to be. I won't work with people I don't like.
Yes.
But the guidelines are: it is DIY, like home, self-recorded, or recorded by friends,
Okay.
or mixed by yourself, or to some capacity. There's a strong DIY thing that's tying that
Right.
project together.
Very cool.
And I only release that stuff. So no, studio only production.
So do
Right,
you want to
right.
release a Mexican polka album? Is what we're asking, basically.
Because I got more Mexican
We've got
polka.
Mexican polka coming
go
out
anywhere.
the asshole right now.
I just put out a Spanish bolero ambient acoustic record. So,
Really?
So
That's
maybe.
cool.
Oh, fuck yeah. That is all. We got to get that to Rocco. Rocco.
could go anywhere.
Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Generally, like the more experimental or ambient weird stuff.
Okay.
A lot of times it's more heavier stuff, but
Right.
it's kind of all over the place.
Wonderful.
Now, from a technical standpoint, when you record, what is your typical setup?
I work with Pro Tools. I work with an old system. Like,
Is it the same system that you had at the studio?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
okay,
admittedly
okay.
running a very old system on an old computer with like OS Snow Leopard with Pro Tools 8.
Ooh.
I mean, if it still works, dude.
Yeah, it still works. The thing that sucks is, you have to upgrade all that stuff if you want to buy new plugins and all that shit. But I still have loads of plugins that I'm still to this day discovering, and
Hell yeah.
and yeah, so I'm working with what I know.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, where
and
can people find you if they want to find you specifically, your music, your record label? What are your social medias?
ANIMARECORDINGS.net, or we're on Facebook, at ANIMA Recordings on Instagram. My solo project, which is I would consider my primary project, which I also have a lot of new things in the works for.
For Folian.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Cool.
I post most of all that shit on my own personal Instagram.
Yeah, so go to Anima at Anima Recordings.
Yeah, you
can find
it all
everything there. Hell yeah, awesome.
Yeah, or and my artist website is davidfylstra.net, so you can find all my projects there. All stuff like this will get posted there. Just constant updates.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Whatever events.
Wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
Dave, I want to say a huge thank you for coming on to the show. I was so stoked that I saw a picture of you posted.
Yeah, it's good to see you over
and was
here,
drunk
man.
enough to be like, is
Yeah.
this real time? Is this now? What is going on?
I also thought it was an old photo.
Yeah, I
It
was
was
so-
like, oh, it's
posted
an old
the
picture.
day after.
Yeah. So I'm so stoked that we were able to get you on short notice. Thank you again for being here. Again, DaveFylstra.net and AnimaRecordings.net. Go check out those accounts, and you can see everything that he's working on, everything he's collaborated with and put out in the past. I do always want to give a big thank you, as we always wrap up, to the wonderful people over at Moot.tv, our super producer EJ5000, the guys that Let Me Ask You a Question, the podcast. Go check them out on the Moot Monday Drops. We release our episodes, Let Me Ask You a Question, and the Derek D. Dozen, which is a nice short 12-minute episode every, usually Monday, or sometimes it's on Wednesday. But we release those. I guess we'll just call them now our sister podcast, the But What Do We Know podcast. If you're into true crime, go check them out. As always, you will hear, not as always, as of late, and hopefully for the rest of all time,
Eternity.
you will hear our music as their opening theme song. So you can go check them out. Anna and Marissa crushing it over there. Really fun chit chat. If you don't like chit chat and you just want to hear true crime, there's a timestamp in the description. You dumb motherfuckers. You don't have to.
Stop
make
leaving
shitty
negative
comments.
reviews. What the fuck?
Weenus and all you other motherfuckers. I listen to their show. They're always reading there. They're like, oh no, we went down to 4.5. Oh no, because this guy said that he doesn't like that we talk about ourselves on our podcast.
Yeah.
It's like
we went down to 4.5 viewers.
Yes, we've done less than 4 point. We've gone down to 0.4 or 5 viewers. I'm pretty sure half of a person, a sleep person. Zach's computer upstairs being the only one that's logged in.
Is that what they do when you're actually sleeping?
Yeah.
And they ask, are you still?
It's
a
0.5. You go to a 0.5. Yeah. If you don't say yes, I'm still watching. It goes to a 0.5. And also our guest from last week, Sean Arauja. You can go check out Sean and Dave Make Music, and also Not Movies. They recorded their episode with Todd Glass, comedian Todd Glass, world-renowned comedian. The guy's one of the funniest motherfuckers. He's performed with everybody. He's opened for everybody. He's headlined and had everybody open for him. And he did their Sean and Dave Make Music last Friday. So cool. He said it went really smooth. So be on the lookout for that episode, hopefully dropping soon if it has not yet dropped by the time you are hearing this. As always, a big thank you to Mr. Justin Olimpedo for getting all of this put together.
You got it.
Yeah. Anything you need to plug besides your butt? You good?
No, I'm good.
You all right? Okay.
Yeah, good
well,
right
then, I guess the last thing I have to do is say thank you to Mr. Zachary
Pumpkin butter.
Sturman. Zachary Pumpkin Butter Sturman. Thank you so much for sitting next to me this week. Not enough leg touching this week. Wow. Maybe I've been using this hand for beer. Haven't touched the leg yet. There we go.
This year, I got jerked off on this episode. They can't tell that.
I can't tell.
You don't know if it's true or not.
I seen it.
You know 100% that it's true, because everybody might be coming on Kyle tonight. All right, guys, for Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up, Season 5, Episode 3, I am your host, Kyle Mocha, saying we'll see you guys next week. As always, here is our closing theme song. Oh, next week we got Joey Tepedino. Comedian Joey Tepedino. And we've got music from Heels, which are just a fucking fun, awesome duo from Memphis.
This song is really awesome.
Great. So we'll see you guys live next Friday, or sorry, next Saturday. No, that's next Tuesday.
Jesus Christ.
I'm drunk. All right, we'll see you next Tuesday, live at 9
Fuck
o'clock.
you!
Fuck me, really. Oh, wait. What's his name? Jeff Buckley.
TV.
Oh, fuck.
There's nothing more egomaniacal than singing the theme music for your own show. Who am I? Kelsey Grammer. If I could only drink like him, we're gonna write a new one every week. Some will be solid, some will be weak. We're gonna ride